Chatouille.
Anyone around? I think I'm alone now. That's what I wanted to play when you just showed up, so it's good.
Here I am.
Here you are. I knew where I was the whole time. Good morning.
Rock here.
Nancy here.
She's not alone. She's with me.
Rock was gone for his chiropractic appointment this morning at 7 a.m. And
I
I'm
had
like,
an
I guess
adjustment.
I'll have to do this show by myself.
Had an adjustment.
Yeah, so
Taking care of my spine.
I picked this song, I Think I'm Alone, and I think we're alone. So I was going to play that out. I'm like, oh, well, hey, you showed up.
I did.
It's awesome.
I did
right
show up.
on. Good morning, everybody.
Good
It's
morning,
Thursday.
Vietnam. What?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
It's Thursday. It's a bit dreary.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Lees.
Might be rainy.
Yeah,
it's
might be
fine.
rainy. Hey, it's
We needed the rain.
Gonna get rid of the dirt and the salt and
They called it snow mold.
snow mold.
Yeah, when it thaws and melts,
Yeah.
it becomes moldy
Oh.
because of all the stuff that's inside.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So
But
that's
if
the
we
way
can
it
have
is.
an excess amount of rain, well, not so much so it floods our homes, but like that will help clean off the salt.
Yeah,
That we don't want the salt to go into our lakes and rivers.
that's right.
And
Why do we still use salt?
Yeah,
Are we
need to
retarded?
we need to use
Sorry
sand.
for saying the word retarded, but
Yeah.
Jesus.
We need to use sand as much as possible.
Are we
because
not
the
thinking things
salt
through
is
as
all
humans?
going into our lakes and rivers and
Hey, I have a good idea. Let's use salt to melt all the snow. Okay, well then where does the salt go after it melts? Who cares?
All right. Anyway,
wait, hold on.
let's
I
stay
want to
on
say something
point
real
here.
quick.
Okay.
You're beautiful.
Oh well, thank you. Well,
Look
it's
at
'cause
how
I was-
beautiful she is.
Well, okay.
I scored big time.
Aw,
She's
thanks.
mine.
You're so sweet. Well, hey, thank you for joining and complimenting me in front of millions and millions of viewers.
All the viewers across the world.
So, we're talking about habits this week. How to make a habit stick.
Yeah.
Monday we talked about mapping out. Yeah, me too.
Well,
That kind of show. You radiate so much heat, it's unbelievable.
I'm hot.
Yeah, so Monday we talked about mapping out your habits, playing it out till the end, see if it serves you, see if it doesn't serve you.
That's right.
Tuesday we talked about how, attaching a win and
A why?
a why and a win.
A why and a win.
To your habits. So because your brain is trying to, your brain is working for you. So if it's a painful experience, it will avoid that at all costs. And that's why we go for the quick fixes, because it's a joyful experience right off the bat.
Yes.
But the brain doesn't know that in the long run,
Yep.
it serves you. So we have to play that out, and
It's
then
a
we have
delayed
to attach.
gratification.
Yeah, we have to attach the outcome with a win or a celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anything you're going to go through that's worth achieving is going to be difficult and often painful. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's going to be uncomfortable. It's the unknown. People fear the unknown. And
That's all it is.
So it's just
It's that fear,
It's the baby
right?
steps
Yeah.
into heading full force with a strong why, mapping it out, playing it out, attaching a win to it. Today we're going to talk about EFT.
EFT. No, it's not a
EFT.
clever hip hop band.
No. It's emotional freedom technique. It's also known as tapping. I've used it 10 years ago at the beginning of my journey when I was suffering from panic attacks. I'd find myself on the toilet because when I would have these panic attacks, I would have these nervous, I know maybe it's TMI, but nervous shits.
Nervous poops.
And I would find myself on the toilet, and I somehow heard about this EFT, and that was before we went to Nick Ortner's summit thing.
I don't know.
And I was just YouTubing it, and then I was actually going along the process, and it was working. It really, really does work, and it's it looks silly, it sounds
you're
silly.
touching here.
Yeah, you're
touching
basically.
there, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the process with you guys. But
Real
I'm also
quick.
going to attach a YouTube link. You guys can check it out. I really think it's super valuable, especially if you're suffering from any kind of mental or physical pain, any trauma,
Limiting beliefs.
any anxiety,
Anything.
limiting beliefs. It works for everything, and it's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And so essentially, it's basically the amygdala part of the brain, which is your alert system that gets triggered from either your thoughts or your
It's
environment.
the fight or flight. Basically.
It's a fight or flight that gets triggered. And so when you're doing the EFT, you're basically the end points of all your meridians.
The meridians.
Sending a signal to the amygdala that it's okay, you're safe.
Yeah.
So
because your brain and your body does not know the difference between the fear you get from actually being chased by a bear.
Yeah.
or a lion versus public speaking.
Yeah.
Your body and your brain thinks you're in imminent danger.
Absolutely.
Or if you have a phobia of flying or a phobia of water or
Yeah.
a phobia of snakes, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
You don't know.
Yeah. So
the
this
difference. It's
EFT,
incredible.
if you can just get beyond the whole like silliness of it all, it really does.
Most of this
work.
stuff is silly a little bit, but
I mean,
it works.
It does. I mean, you got EFT tapping, that's amazing.
But
You
tap
got,
your face.
you got
No?
meditation that
Come on.
works well to ease. Like I've learned all of these
Tough ground.
tools because it really does work. It makes a huge difference. Like speaking from experience, I used to suffer from panic attacks, and right in the middle of a full-blown panic attack on the shitter, I would do tapping, and it would immediately calm myself right down. So basically, you would start. I know you would start by just tapping on your like the karate chop point, which is basically.
We're just gonna show you briefly.
Yeah, I'm just
you
gonna show
gotta
you
do the own
briefly.
research. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna show you briefly. I'm gonna
we're
put
not EFT pros, though,
No,
okay?
no, exactly. And I actually want to get into it more and more.
I've been tapping all the wrong places on hers.
No, but
Doesn't
basically, and you attach. So you basically you state the fact, what's going on. Like, even though I am suffering from major anxiety right now, I completely and utterly love and accept myself.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you go on to the like in the end points of the eyebrow, and you just tap here with one finger or two fingers, and basically you repeat the same thing. Even though I'm feeling super anxious right now, I completely and utterly love and accept myself.
So the meridians, the points that she's talking about, they're like trigger points.
Yeah, the end
It's
points.
like a button you're pressing, pew, pew, and it sends a signal to the brain.
Yeah, and then you move on to the side of the eyebrow on the outside.
Here on the cheekbone, you were saying.
No,
Like where the
that's another one.
Oh,
Yeah, let me do it.
Okay.
And then the outside of the eyebrow, you repeat the same thing. Even though I'm feeling really anxious right now, I'm feeling unsafe, I completely and utterly love and accept myself. And you take a deep breath. And then you go underneath the eye, and you keep tapping. And you keep repeating. Even though I'm feeling super anxious right now,
You can try it while she's doing it.
I completely and utterly love and accept myself right now.
And you pick anything that's really bothering you, whether it's a pain in your back
Underneath
or
the nose?
an actual
I think.
mental thought. You know,
There's
like,
one here, and then there's one here, and then there's one right beneath the collarbone here. And then you take a deep breath as you do it,
Of course.
and then you take a moment, and when you're done, you take a full deep breath, and which helps calm down your like it helps you put yourself back into the parasympathetic, the rest.
Yeah, we talked about this
digest
before.
state.
Like when you're like a goat or a gazelle, you know,
Yeah.
and you get chased by a lion or any sort of predator, you go into fight or flight.
Yeah.
Right. So your body, your brain, the blood stops really flowing to the brain as much. It goes more to the muscles so that you can bolt, run away.
Yes.
Right.
That's why you can't think
That's why
clearly
you can't
when you're
think clearly.
agitated.
That's right.
You
So-
can't. That's why you can't. Like, it doesn't enhance your. Like, you can't be creative in that moment because you're in survival mode. So it's not time to be creative.
But the animals, when after they're being chased, if they haven't gotten eaten, right?
Yeah.
They go back to grazing.
Yeah,
And that's
which is your rest and digest.
that's basically the transition from holy shit, I'm being chased, I'm gonna die to I'm good.
Yeah.
But we humans, we have a difficulty turning that off.
Yeah.
We constantly keep the brain in that fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we have a difficult time going back to the relax and rest and digest type of thing.
Exactly. And especially with everything, with all the
Especially.
stimulation.
Especially.
And we're so easily distracted and stimulated by our phones
Yeah.
that we even find yourself, I don't know if you noticed this, but when you don't have your phone and you haven't used it for a certain
feel
amount of
panicky.
time, you kind of feel like, first you feel bored, you feel like you need to be stimulated,
Yeah.
and if you're alone with your thoughts and they're not so positive, then you feel anxious. I mean, there's just
Snowball.
yeah. So
That's a good indicator, right?
yeah.
If
And then after that, you like
the
when
phones.
you take a comment, like you take a nice deep breath when you're done with the whole EFT.
Yeah.
And then you just rate your anxiety, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being
I think you would
full-blown
do that
panic attack.
before.
You can do it before,
Before.
and then you can do it after.
Yeah, you would do it before that rating, and then you would go back to it
And
after.
see the difference.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, it might have been a 7 or an 8, and then after that, you would do the whole process.
Yeah.
And then it could be like a 5 or a 6, and then you can repeat that until it becomes a 2 or 3, and it just helps to send the signal to the amygdala.
It tells
the fight
your
or flight
body
part of
to
the brain
relax.
to relax.
You're not in danger.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
It's remarkable.
It's incredible how the brain works because most of us like 99% of us in any given moment, we're in complete safety.
Yes.
You're in complete safety. So why does the brain think anxious and pumping? It's all, like you said, it's all of these external stimulations, your thoughts, number one, right? But the phones, they do that.
Oh, yeah.
They don't necessarily relax you. You think you're being relaxed, but it's such a fast stimulation.
Yes.
You could scroll through 100 videos in 15 minutes and not learn anything, not watch anything. And it teaches your brain to keep fighting or flighting.
Bad attention span,
exactly.
Anxiety, depression. And
I went to the chiropractor yesterday as well, and I just sat in the office. And I sat there for about an hour because I had to wait. Well, I don't wait. I told the lady, I don't wait, I just sit here. Not a big deal. But for the majority of that, I found myself not touching my phone. Probably for 40 minutes. I just sat there.
That's incredible. Why don't
just
you do that here?
Then I started falling asleep. I didn't want to fall asleep. Right? I didn't want to interrupt my pattern, my sleep pattern. So I started playing on my phone. And my phone kind of woke me up, right? Because it's such a stimulation.
Yeah.
That it's, so you got to take that into consideration.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah, there's so many, I mean, there's so many factors into why we feel anxious, why we feel depressed. I mean, 1 in 3 people feel anxious. I mean, that's not normal. It's common, but it's not normal.
Yeah, let's not make that the norm.
No, and then it's like, a major part of that is in your gut health, which we talk about, which I specialize in.
Yeah.
And then there's all these other environmental factors. There's toxins in the air, there's the phones, there's the, the everyday
toxic
stresses,
thoughts.
The busyness of life, the stressors of life.
All of that.
It's all of that. I mean, EFT, you gotta it's amazing
Take
how
the
research behind it. It's amazing. I mean, it's been worked on people. The genocide, the whole. That whole
specifically soldiers, it helps a lot with soldiers.
Oh, yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah.
The tapping is like a miracle thing for them.
Yeah.
Now listen, we're just people, so you got to do your own research. You got to try it out. Try it out for a week. You got nothing to lose. Yeah, exactly. Do it in your own closet if you don't want to see people or have people look at you.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been proven to work on major trauma. Like the example that I've seen was Nick Ortner, which he's the founder of the Tapping Solution, and I actually read his audiobook, The Tapping Solution.
You listened to it.
And there was in 2012, there was a big shooting near San Diego.
Oh, the school shooting the theater?
No, the school shooting.
Right.
And the guy killed 20 students, and then he actually worked with one of the moms whose boy was killed. He's 6 years old. And he did tapping with her on the Tuesday, and it happened on the Friday. And it wasn't like he was tapping about, well, even though your son is dead, it was just kind of like trying to bring any amount of peace to her life in that moment in time, because when you're full-blown trauma...
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah. Let's not even go down that road.
No, I know.
I just can't imagine.
But it's just, if it works for major traumatic events, it definitely works for everyday life, like everyday stressors and everyday limiting beliefs and everyday habits. This can really work for your habits too. I mean, if you're about to give in to any temptations and you're supposed to stay true to your
the goal or the
goal, path. Which again, like the goal is to stay on the highway, but you'll take some occasional scenic route. But the point is to always come back to the highway. But if you're always taking the scenic route, you might want to do tapping around that and see what's going on. What is the underlying issue? Why you're always taking the scenic route and you're not staying on your highway.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
You.
As always,
we love you. We're thinking about you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for questions and answers.
Fruits, vegetables. Take a person. Come on.
EFT, baby.